Hello everyone, and thank you very much for taking the time to attend this webinar today. Today we're actually going to talk about business credit, but we're going to talk about something I've never talked about before. We're going to talk about the problems with business credit. You know, I do webinars attempting to teach everybody so much great information about business credit. Business credit really is something very, very powerful that could probably help your business, adding it as another income stream, another product to your product line. But I never talk about the faults of business credit, the problems. And I don't want to paint this ridiculously pretty picture of how phenomenally great business credit is without taking the time to discuss what are the problems with business credit also. These are the same problems on why you don't see a lot about business credit. You don't hear a lot about business credit. You don't see a lot of companies out there providing it. All of this stems down to these two very big problems that come with business credit. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. What we're going to do is we're going to jump in. I'm going to give you a real quick brief overview of what business credit is, just in case you don't know. Then we're going to talk in depth about these two big problems and how you can solve those problems to offer business credit successfully. Let's get started. First, I want to talk to you a little bit about what business credit is. I always like to throw in a few similar slides at the beginning of my webinars, just because I know some people are attending for the first time. You're not maybe familiar exactly what we're even talking about when it comes to business credit. Well, business credit's credit that we're talking about is for a business name. Okay, so with business credit, the business itself builds its own credit profile and score, and with an established credit profile and score, the business itself can qualify for credit. Okay, so this is credit that's in the business's name. It's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's. And since the business itself qualifies for the money, then in most cases there's no personal credit check required from the business owner whatsoever. Okay, one of the biggest benefits of business credit, well, there's a lot of benefits, but one of the things is that you're building something completely independent of personal credit. So personal credit can be trashed and they can still get business credit because when done properly, they don't even look at personal credit to build business credit. It's also powerful even for people that have really good personal credit because it literally doubles somebody's borrowing ability. You know, you can get all this money and all this credit on your personal profile, and then you can get even more money and even more credit using your business credit profile. We even deal with a lot of financing sources that only report to one or the other. And the ones that report to the business credit report, the lenders, you know, that'll approve them will pull consumer credit reports to make lending decisions and not even see all these accounts they have on the business credit. So it really, really helps a lot because with business credit, literally internally, we are able to get somebody almost twice as much money because we're able to get them approved for credit that uses the personal credit for approval, and then we turn around and get them just as much money using their business credit as approval too. So some of the benefits that business credit provides, it's just so powerful when a business can build its own credit profile and score versus an individual. Okay, the business, once this is built, can start getting credit cards, Lowe's, Staples, Sam's Club, BP, Walmart, Apple. And the business can also qualify for Visa, American Express, MasterCard. This is what people want business credit for. Why would you build business credit? Well, a few different reasons. You know, first of all, you're getting credit cards at most of the stores you're getting them at, and the limits are going to be a ton higher than they are on the consumer side. Another benefit is you can get Visa, MasterCard, American Express, just like you could on the personal side, cards you could use anywhere. And then again, also not listed on this slide is you could use business credit to actually get approved for financing. A lot of people do that. Their credit has problems on the personal side. They build their business credit and even use their business credit to qualify for financing. So some very good benefits of business credit once it is actually built. Okay, the business credit profile will also help the business qualify for secure and unsecure business credit lines, loans, and a lot of these things with no personal guarantee. That's the kicker. Okay, that's one of the reasons and one of the main benefits of business credit. Why do you love it? Why do you want it? No liability. I mean, think about it. You know, when you own a business, everything that you do for that business, you're signing on that dotted line, which means if anything happens with that business, they come after your personal assets. Now, as business owners, we all like to think nothing could ever happen, but as we all saw in 2007, everything can happen. I mean, anything in the world can happen that could just wipe out businesses overnight. And the last thing any business owner would want to have happen is lose their business and then lose all of their personal assets because they linked it to the business. And unfortunately, that's the mistake that so many people make because, let's be honest, it's easy to make it, right? I mean, you go to your bank and your bank says, hey, here's a credit card, you're approved. You never take the time to say, well, is that a business credit card? How do I get that approved? People just take the money. So again, one of the biggest benefits is they can get all this extra money and there's no personal liability. It's just based on the business name, not the personal. Okay, so again, completely separate from the business credit profile, gives them double the borrowing power based on the business's ability to pay. So that means even when there's challenged personal credit, they're still going to be able to qualify. Okay, and they could just build the business credit in much faster time. Business credit literally can be built in half as much time as what consumer credit is because of the way it works. I mean, consumer credit, you can't even get a credit score unless you got stuff reporting for 6 months. In the business world, you could get a score in the first 30 to 90 days. So just all the way through the process, it's half as fast or twice as fast to build business credit as it is consumer. So all this stuff sounds pretty good to me, right? It all sounds pretty cool, sounds pretty good. So why doesn't everybody have it? I mean, why isn't this mainstream? Really, that's the next question. And that was one of the biggest questions I asked when I started, when I first got into business credit is, why don't people know about this? I mean, money you can get with no credit check, no guarantee. I mean, this is phenomenal. Why doesn't everybody in the world know about this? Well, as I soon discovered, there's two big problems in the industry. Then again, these are the same problems that you're going to see where there's not a lot of competition, why it's pretty wide open space, which kind of opens the door for a good opportunity for you. And the biggest problem with business credit is the fact that most people don't know anything about it at all. When I started and first got into business credit, I, like a lot of credit repair owners, what I did was I had customers ask me about it. And I blew them off, and they asked me again, and I blew them off. And after I got to 5, 6, 7 customers that kept asking me about it, I had to go learn about it. I couldn't blow them off. I knew I was leaving money on the table. So then I had to go learn business credit. And this is somebody that spent my life in finance. I'd owned a credit repair company for several years at this point, and even I didn't know a lot about business credit. Look, the average person just doesn't know much about business credit at all. Only a small percentage of business owners have even tried to build their business credit. Entrepreneur.com reported that 90% of business owners don't even know what business credit is. They don't even know what it is. They know nothing about business credit whatsoever. So that's one of the biggest problems, is that most people don't even know what it is. Now, in all fairness, it's the sources, it's the vendors, it's the lenders that don't want you to know. Think about it. If you walk into Staples and you're willing to apply for their credit card, give your social security number, and sign giving the liability, why would they ever offer you a card where you could get approved with no liability? It provides no benefit to them to promote it to you. So because of that, you don't walk into Lowe's and Dell and see all these promotion for credit cards. You don't go to the checkout and them offer you a 20% discount if you sign up for the credit card. All of this stuff happens in the consumer world because you're liable. In the business world, this is phenomenal for business owners, but the sources don't really want to promote it to you, because if you're willing to give a guarantee, why would they promote something where it has no guarantee? It's no benefit to them. So in large part, that's why most people don't know about it, which really is one of the biggest problems of business credit. Okay, and I bring up this question: what is a quiche? Imagine trying to sell a quiche. Okay, if you're not familiar with what quiche is, you're not alone. Most people don't know what quiche is. And even people who've heard of it don't typically really know what it is. So people who sell it even have signs that read, "What is a quiche?" to explain what it actually is. Now imagine trying to sell something that people don't even know what it is. Pretty hard to do, right? First, you have to explain what it is to them so they understand before you can even begin any type of real sales presentation. And then plus, you have major advertising issues because you're selling a product that most people don't even know what it is, right? Think about it. If you're doing pay-per-click, you go find keyword terms that people are searching online. Well, if you do keyword checks for what business credit, you're going to see very small percentage of people are really looking, because most people don't know what it is. So it's hard to advertise for a product that most people, again, just don't even really know what it is. Business credit really has that same problem as quiche. Most don't know what it is, so it's hard to market and advertise and get customers. Okay, you're trying to sell something that people really don't know, they don't understand. And, I kind of picked this up, what is a quiche, because, one of these marketing, I'm trying to look at one of the things that I go to on a regular basis. It's like a local thing where we have all kinds of, a local fresh market is what they call it. And there's a lady there that always sells quiche, and every time I pass her booth, I laugh because I see this big, massive sign that says, "What is quiche?" and basically promotes what it is. And it really makes me laugh and makes me think about this link to business credit, because it really is the same thing. I mean, this person has to explain what their product even is to be able to sell it. And imagine trying to sell something that people don't even understand and know what it is. It's just a really big uphill battle, which is one of the reasons so few competitors are in this space. There's also much more involved in the sales processes. First, you have to explain what business credit is before you even begin the actual sale. Okay, I used to run Craigslist ads when I owned a credit repair business. It took 120 ads to get a phone call. When I started advertising for mortgages with bad credit, it only took 7 ads to get 1 phone call. It was funny. I would advertise fix your credit to get a mortgage. It'd take me 120 ads to get a call. I'd run get a mortgage with bad credit, and everybody in the world would call. 7 ads it'd take me to get a phone call. People didn't want the actual credit repair. Couldn't advertise it, but they wanted the car or home, and they needed the repair to get what they really wanted. So that was one of the best ways to actually advertise and get to those customers, was to advertise what they wanted, to get them to a point where I could get them on the phone to actually explain that credit repair was the answer to get them what they wanted. And they didn't really understand credit repair, which scared a lot of people. Well, business credit's really the same way. People love the idea of getting money with no liability or credit check, right? It's what I said at the beginning of this webinar. Who wouldn't love this? Everybody loves this idea. I mean, get money with no credit check and no liability. Okay, where do I sign? That sounds brilliant. Okay, but again, a lot of people, even though they want it, it's the financing that we see a lot of people need. They're not looking for business credit. It's just not what they're looking for. They're not familiar with it because they don't know it's there. They're not even looking for it. It's financing that they typically need, and that's what they're looking for. So because it's financing that they need and they're not familiar with the business credit, again, advertising for business credit alone won't get you a lot of response. The bottom line is, it is a major obstacle with business credit, the fact that most people don't have a clue what it is. You have to advertise it different. You have to find people that either know what it is or create a sales process to explain it to people so they know what it is before you even begin the process of making a sale. Okay, this is exactly why you can go to Google now, you could type in business credit, and everybody on the first page mostly is not even a business credit company. Most of them are entrepreneur.com, Dun & Bradstreet. You'll see there's just not a lot of competition in that space. You'll see there's not even a lot of pay-per-click ads that show up. There's just not a lot of people specifically in the business credit space, because the ones that are there or the ones that have tried just have never been really successful because of this major roadblock of selling a product that most people don't know what it is and don't understand. Okay, which brings me to the second problem with business credit. The second big problem with business credit is that by the time most people learn what business credit actually is, before they actually even discover what it is and how it can help them, they already need money. They're already in sometimes a desperate state where they need money. Okay, that owner desperately needs money when they first even learn about business credit. And most business owners don't just bump into business credit on their own, okay, nor is it actually introduced to them by their accountant or banker. Okay, you're not going to run into a lot of people that are going to ask you about business credit and are going to tell you that their banker or their accountant told them about it, or that they were just looking online and thought it might be the solution. What typically happens is most business owners that discover business credit are actively looking for financing for their business. Okay, so they're looking for money. They're not even looking for business credit. They go out, they look for money, they call a few places to apply, and they learn they can't get financing due to issues such as their personal credit challenges. Okay, so this is what happens. They don't go looking for business credit. They go looking for financing. I need money for my business. They start checking online, they call companies up, and the companies say, hey, look, you got credit problems. You're not going to be able to get approved, okay? You've got personal credit challenges. Okay, so then what happened is the lending sources, some of them that are knowledgeable and know what business credit is, okay, they'll tell them they don't qualify, and in some cases they'll recommend business credit as the actual solution to get the owner financing. Makes sense. The person knows what business credit is, and they say, hey, look, Mr. Customer, I can't help you. You've got personal credit challenges. What you need to do is go look into business credit. Now, I can tell you this is kind of human nature. You see, human nature is that we don't like the word no. Okay, that's going to help you a lot to know that, because in psychology, humans don't like to say or hear the word no. Okay, so because of that, when people turn somebody down, they usually find a different way to tell the person they're turning them down. Okay, I always used to do this. When I owned a mortgage company, what I would do is I would never tell somebody no. What I would do is tell them what they needed to work on so they could qualify. Okay, that's how I always did it. Look, you're not going to be able to get a loan right now because of these issues. But if you do these things, you will be able to get financing. Okay, then I would send them on their way. It was a nice way for me to tell them no, because I wasn't telling them no. I was saying maybe. Look, you can't qualify now, but if you do this, you can get the loan. Okay, it worked well for me because I never had to tell them no, and it worked well for the customer because the customer never heard no from me. They heard an actual solution to the problem. Well, it's exactly the same in the business financing world. A lot of people will go in to apply and they'll say, hey, look, I can't get you approved for financing. Have a nice day. But instead of saying no, have a nice day, they'll say, I can't get you approved for financing. But what can help you is business credit. You can't qualify for financing because your personal credit's challenged. But if you build your business credit, then you could qualify for financing. So then all of a sudden, it's on this person's radar. Okay, the owner is wanting money for their business, but now they've learned about business credit. Now a finance source has said, hey, this is the solution you should be looking for, because this will overcome the obstacle you have of the personal credit challenges, which is 100% spot on correct. So those business owners will then start looking for business credit. This is how they first intro or get into the initial space. They all of a sudden now start looking for business credit. Now their Google search changes to business credit. Now they're looking for it, okay? Not because they really know what it is, but because one of the lending sources has told them, hey, you've got personal credit challenges. Business credit's your solution. So now all of a sudden they are on the hunt. They're looking for business credit. They have little knowledge about it, but they know it can help them get the money they need and overcome the other issues, such as not having good personal credit. So as they begin to discover what business credit is and what it can do for them, they're already in a position where they need money quickly. Remember, this is exactly why this person got on the phone with that finance person that first told them about business credit. They were looking for money, right? But business credit can't be and doesn't get built quickly. Okay, to get approved for even low-limit business credit cards, it takes 4 or 6 months to build. Okay, to get approved for high-limit credit cards, it could take 9 to 12 months to build business credit. Okay, so let me give you a couple examples. CreditMakeover.biz. They're one of the biggest players out there in the business credit space. If you go to their website in their own FAQ section, this is exactly what it says. How soon will I start applying for cash credit? Well, if your business is 18 months old, you can start applying after 6 months. You got a brand new business, well, then you're going to have to wait for 12 months. Okay, and again, if the company is less than 24 months old, they're going to have a hard time getting financing at all anyways. Okay, so that being said, this company, a brand new company, can't even start applying until after 12 months of starting the program. And if they don't have any revenue, or if the company is less than 24 months old, they might not even be able to get cash credit. Wow. This is one of the biggest players in the business credit space. And on the front page of their own website, they will flat out attest that it's going to take somebody at least 6 months to get cash money. If they haven't been in business in 2 years, they flat out say the person may never get cash money to begin with if their business doesn't even have revenue. See, that's the problem with building business credit. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, here's another big player in the business credit space. Their FAQ page. How long does a business credit program take? Program takes 12 months. Okay, designed to qualify for bank level financing. Cash money. So what they're saying is it's going to take somebody 12 months to get cash money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same. I could give you 100 slides the same. Almost any business credit company you look at, their website tells the person exactly the same thing. If you want cash money, you got to wait a year. Now, yes, business credit profiles and scores can be built much faster than with consumer credit. Okay, actually, business credit profiles and scores can be built in half the time as it takes to build consumer scores. And this is for a lot of reasons. First of all, you can get a good business credit score if you just pay your bill on time. That's it. You go get a vendor account, you pay the bill on time, you have a good score. It can happen in 30 to 90 days. And once you have that score, you could immediately start going in and applying for credit. But a lot of the credit people get 60 days in, 90 days in, 4 months in, it's store credit. Okay, don't be deceived by these other companies that say they can get $250,000 in money. Yes, they can, but $247,000 of that $250,000 is store credit. It's credit at stores. Now, will this help them? Of course it will. I owned a credit repair business. Would it help me having a $5,000 line of credit at Staples, at Dell, at Office Depot? Of course it would. Would it help me having credit at Apple? Okay, at Walmart, at Costco? Of course it will. Store credit is definitely going to help a business owner. No question about it. Phenomenal benefit. But again, you're talking about business owners that came into this equation looking for financing. They're looking for money. More than likely, they weren't looking for credit at a particular store. They wanted money for a different purpose. So even though business credit can be built in half the time as consumer credit can, in the initial 30-day to 6-month cycle, they're really getting store credit. Then in 6 months, they move to Visa, MasterCard, but it's small limits, $300, $400, $500. And then it takes 9 to 12 months to build somebody to a $5,000, $10,000 credit limits. But again, these are people looking for financing. They typically are looking for those $5,000, $10,000 credit limits right now. They're typically not wanting to wait a year to get that money. Okay, now as per SBA, okay, business credit approvals can be 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit approvals. So you talk about another benefit business credit provides. I mean, it can be built in half the time of consumer credit. Okay, plus the limits on the approvals are 10 to 100 times higher than normal. And that's not per me, that's per SBA themselves. Okay, so big benefit, business credit built half the time, massive limits, but the drawback is the time to build. If a consumer is actively looking for money right now, business credit isn't the best solution for them. It's great to get them more money, higher credit limits, and to get business owners money with no liability, but it's a process to build business credit, and that process can take as long as 12 months or sometimes more. Okay, so business owners that need money now don't have 12 months to secure the money. In most cases, they need it now. So even though business credit can get them the money they need and overcome the problems like personal credit challenges, it still takes time to build. Remember, a lot of them were referred by lenders, and the lender was right. The lender said to them, hey, you've got personal credit problems. You need business credit. They're right. Business credit would solve that problem, but the other problem it creates is it takes time to build, and most of these people need money right away. They're not wanting to spend a year to get their money. And that time is what most business owners who find business credit don't have. They need money faster than business credit can provide, even though it can be built twice as fast as consumer credit. Remember, we live in an instant gratification society. People want what they want, and they want it now. So business owners want money right away, and they don't want to wait a year to build the business credit. Okay, most of them aren't patient enough to do this. So people won't typically spend money to build their business credit, as it can't instantly get them what they really want, which is money fast. This is a very important point to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the other second massive factor of why you don't see a lot of competitors in this space. They don't survive. They don't know everything I've taught you so far, and now they get there. They say, hey, man, there's nobody in the business credit space. This is awesome. Let's get in there and offer business credit. Then they do it, run into all the roadblocks I've told you about, and then the other problem they run into is people won't pay them the money. People love the business credit, but again, they want money right away, and they won't spend thousands of dollars for something it's going to take them a year to build. Okay, so as a result of that, the problem is a lot of these companies are only able to charge $200, $300, $400, $500 for their services. If you look at a lot of the business credit building companies out there, they don't charge a lot of money. They charge less than $1,000, usually hundreds of dollars. And that creates another problem in itself, because now these companies aren't making a lot of money. They're not making a lot of profits. So they fail to continue to research. We've bought into most business credit companies out there because we want to see what they're doing. And I can tell you that most of them give you data that's 2 to 3 to 5 years old, meaning they'll tell you, hey, apply with Dell. You know, Here's their website, or they'll tell you to apply for a company that doesn't even offer business credit anymore. The problem is they don't have enough profits to hire dedicated people to do research to keep their data up to date. So people pay $300, $400, $500 for a system to build business credit, and what they're really getting is outdated data of sources of vendors and creditors they could build with. Okay, this is the problem. There's not a lot of business credit companies out there because most people don't know what business credit is, and because most people want money for their business right away, then they won't pay a company a lot of money to build their business credit because they're trying to get money right away. The business credit takes a year to build. So they don't see the real value in spending a year to get their money, and as a result, they won't spend a lot of money. And this is exactly why you don't see a lot of business credit companies in the space, and this is also exactly why a lot of them that are in the space charge so little money, and this is also why you have an amazing opportunity to get in and own this space as long as you can solve these two problems. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the solution. Well, people don't know what business credit is. We've established that. Due to this advertising, business credit advertising won't be truly effective, but money is a universal term that most people do understand. Most people do want money in their lives. Most business owners would love to have more money and financing for their business. So the best solution to give customers what they actually want is to give them money. It's as simple as that. When you provide customers with financing and with business credit building, you ultimately give them what they really want, which is money to access fast. Many business financing programs can deliver money and funding to a customer within 2 to 4 weeks or less, helping them get the money they quickly need. Guys, we've got revenue lending in our finance suite that people can secure in 3 days, okay, even with 500 credit scores. We've got unsecured credit cards they can get approved for within 2 to 3 weeks and get $150,000, even if they're a brand new startup business. The truth is there's a lot of money available out there, and that's what people really want. So if you're offering money, financing, and business credit, that really will help you solve these problems, because now you're able to get the people the money they want quickly through the actual financing part. Now, by offering customers both financing and business credit building, customers get that instant gratification we talked about because they're able to secure funding quickly. And since 90% of business owners don't know what business credit is, it still makes them very curious. So it's not like you just want to throw business credit out the window. Okay, yeah, it's got a couple problems that when you involve financing, you can easily solve. But you also get this beautiful thing that nobody really knows a lot about but would love to know more. I mean, they're curious, right? You're rarely going to go to a business owner and ask them about business credit and not see their eyebrows raise a little. They're interested. They want to know more because they've maybe heard about it before but aren't familiar with it. So they're very curious. So when you offer financing and business credit together, then what happens is you can get them the money they need quickly and still really spike their curiosity, as most are not really familiar with business credit but want to know more about it. And again, almost everyone you meet would love to get money with no personal guarantee or credit check, right? I mean, doesn't this sound good? There's not too many people out there that aren't going to think getting money with no credit check and guarantee is a bad idea. Almost everybody wants that, okay, but they don't want to wait for money. So now when you offer financing and business credit to a combination, well, now you can help them get the money they need and then help them with the business credit building because they're patient, right? They already got their money. Hey, got you $150,000 as a startup business. There's your money. Now you're cool, because you got what you wanted, you got what you really need, but you want to build this business credit too, right? Because you want more money with no liability. That sounds good to you. So now let's begin the process of building your business credit, because we got all the time in the world right now. There's no rush to get you done because you got the financing you need. So now you can take the time and the customer will be more patient as they're actually beginning that process of building the business credit. Okay, you're giving them really a 1-2 punch when you offer them financing and business credit. You get the client the money right away, then they're patient as they build the business credit, plus very few companies offer both. So you nearly eliminate your competition. I love this. When we hired our senior finance officer, the first week he was in business, he called me. And he said, hey, man, I got to tell you something. He goes, I've been looking everywhere, and I got to tell you, there's no competition. And I said, yeah, you figured it out, right? There is nobody. And it's really a shocking, amazing thing that most people haven't figured this out, that you don't see companies out there that offer business credit and extensive financing. I can tell you I've been at the helm here for going on a year and a half, and I've yet to ever find any other company that really offers both a good business credit building system and gives the person the ability to get extensive access to financing. And when you can do this, you rule the world, because you're doing what nobody else out there is really doing. There's really no other competition out there. You're either going to find these small business credit building companies, or you're going to find financing companies that offer 3 or 4 products at most, but you typically will never find combination of both companies that offer business credit and extensive access to financing. So when you can solve that problem, you literally eliminate all of your competition. Another benefit of offering business credit financing both is it's easy to advertise and get response. Okay, we see clients post less than 5 Craigslist ads and get a phone call. Okay, we have clients who have 50% or higher opt-ins from pay-per-click ads. In every medium that's been tested, the response to advertisements like "I have money for your business" is overwhelming. Ladies and gentlemen, we work with a lot of credit repair companies. And let me tell you the problem with credit repair. It's tough to advertise. It's real tough to advertise, because it's just like in that example I gave you earlier. People don't want it. They want the mortgage, and they get the credit fixed to get the mortgage, but it's not like you just run into people to say, I want to fix my credit. Usually they're fixing their credit for a set purpose, okay? Because of that, it's ridiculously hard to advertise. Almost all of the credit repair companies we work with primarily rely on affiliates as their primary business because they're unable to advertise. Then they add business credit. Then they start advertising for financing, and they're overwhelmed. They go from, like I did, from running 120 ads to get a phone call to now running 5 ads to get a phone call. And what they find is these people need their other service too. They need credit repair. So what will happen is they'll sell them access to financing and business credit, and a lot of times they sell them a credit repair service too. So it literally fixes their problem. It fixes the problem they have of advertising and not getting a response, because now they have something they could easily advertise and get massive response. Hey, I have money for your business. Call me today, $50,000 guaranteed. The phone rings off the hook. The people are sold business credit and credit repair. When you can sell financing, not business credit, you have something that you can really get massive response on, because again, that's what everybody wants, is fast access to money. When you advertise money for your business, you're speaking a language that everyone understands. And again, there's no shortage of people that want this. Okay, there's no shortage of people that actually want business credit for their business or want money for their business. So when you advertise money for a business, people will respond in masses. You can also mention business credit building as another benefit, further solidifying your value to the customer. You led with financing. I have money for a business. You got people interested. Okay, you definitely got people in tune with what you're doing, because you advertised you got money for a business, and now they responded. In that same ad, you can also mention, hey, I can get you money for your business quickly and help you build your business credit so you can get even more money with no personal guarantee and no personal credit check. Brakes on. People will stop and pay attention to that message. I cannot tell you how much money our clients are making with that exact same message. They put a message out there, I have money for a business, call today, $50,000 guaranteed. By the way, we'll help you build your business credit on top of getting you money so you can get even more money with no liability, no credit check. Now people are interested in getting the money, and they're interested in that other aspect of being able to get the money without the guarantee, without the credit check. They're curious about the business credit. Okay, and you'll probably be the first person that's ever offered them business credit and financing, so you almost immediately, again, eliminate that competition. Okay, most people don't know anything about business credit. When they do learn, most are looking for fast money and don't have the patience to build it. So when you offer business credit and financing, you really fix that problem, because you offer both of the two biggest, you fix the two biggest problems that are facing really business credit. Okay, so in offering both, you get your clients the fast access to money they need. You can also provide them with the massive benefit that business credit building provides, and they're patient during that building process as they got their money.